Okay, so we've been really digging a little bit deep, and I hope this is getting deep for you because it really needs to. Because as you're walking your path and you're building that nonprofit organization, you're really going to have to really get to know yourself. There's a lot of things to think about when you're starting a nonprofit. Oh my goodness, there's so much to think about. You have to come up with your mission, you have to find fundings and volunteers, and you have to figure out how you're going to leave your mark on this world. But there's one thing that we don't talk about, and there's one thing that's so overlooked is looking at learning your triggers. What triggers you? Because you're going to be triggered so much. What makes you go into full on stage panic mode? But what is that really pushes your button? And once you get to know these, you can start really being able to work on mitigating them or avoiding them altogether, or just being able to take a breath and say, okay, I can deal with this. And so how do you go about figuring out what those triggers are? I have so many triggers, and I learned a lot of triggers along the way. I actually got more triggers along the way than I had when I was first starting the nonprofit. And if I would have known then about the triggers, then maybe I could have somehow weaved out of them. But there was something. I get an email trigger, the funding source trigger, the county trigger, whoever I was working with, it was like trigger, 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 because I was like, why is all of this triggering me? Okay. So those are the things that we have to check out. So I have a worksheet. Of course, I have a worksheet for you, right? So there's a worksheet that I want you to complete. And this is what you're actually doing here is journaling. You're journaling about yourself. And you're going to have this, and I hope you're completing all the worksheets and you're doing all of the assignments, because you're going to look at them now. And then you may come back to them a year from now and take a look at your growth. Take a look at your changes. Take a look at, you might not have any triggers now. You may have some then and be able to just start working on them. So please play full on, because you're going to need all of these tools that you're getting as you're building your nonprofit. You might not realize it, but you're going to need them. So play full on. Complete all the assignments, complete the assignment, learn what your triggers are, because those triggers, if you don't get a hold of them, can cause burnout. So I hope you get this done and really spend this time on you.